All right, good evening. First, we would just like to thank you for being here and giving us an opportunity. The stock that we chose to present on tonight is the Boeing Company. I'm Alex Robson.
I'm Ethan Young.
And I'm Alex Scott.
Yeah, so it was a semester long, pretty much a research project on a company, and then trying to find out the valuation of the stock. All semester long, we did different analysis, and he talked us through how to, compare return on equity to, price earnings ratio, and do all these different things to kind of supplement our end presentation.
It keeps both of us, myself and the students, engaged all semester long and knowing that there's a point to everything we're doing.
So just to kind of start off, we want to take a look at the historic performance of Boeing compared to its industry and the market overall. So if you look at a 1-year, 3-year, 5-year, 15-year return, Boeing has outperformed in terms of total return their industry and the entire market consistently. And hopefully today we're going to discuss ways in which they can grow in terms of revenue and continue this trend.
Now we're going to take a look at their earnings performance over this last year and specifically in the third quarter. So as you can see here, the revenues have grown through the third quarter and then the first 9 months of the year compared to last. Their net earnings have increased on both of those spectrums well over 30%, along with their earnings per share, and then a big one that they dominate the industry with is their operating cash flow has increased mightily as well.
So now to kind of get into the financial analysis of Boeing compared to its major competitors, Airbus and Lockheed Martin, we wanted to take a look at their free cash flow, because we've learned that free cash flow has a tremendous influence on the ability to maximize shareholder wealth. And Boeing, like Alex said, dominates their industry in terms of their ability to generate positive free cash flow. Their cash flow has increased each year since 2013 and is significantly better than their two major competitors. We primarily attribute this to their diversified portfolio of revenues. So Boeing competes in defense, they compete in commercial aircraft, where Airbus only competes in commercial aircraft, Lockheed only competes in defense. So the diversity of Boeing's revenues definitely allows them to create this positive and great free cash flow.
All right, now we're going to look at the key ratios of Boeing compared to their commercial competitor Airbus and their defensive competitor Lockheed Martin, and then finally the industry average. I always try to make things very applied and practical, and it's usually more for, hey, here's how you can use this in your personal investing. This time it's more, here's how it would fit in your career if you're going into investments, finance as a career, and not just the specific of analyzing a stock, pitching a stock, but the whole experience of preparing a presentation throughout it's a 3-month project, and then you present the final results to outsiders. So we had a few faculty members, and we had 5 outside board members, and those 5, I think most of them have a CFA, and all of them were UWL alums. So I think that adds something to it when they see, this is where they're trying to get to, the students. So they, I think they want to impress these people, and they take what they say more seriously, I think, when they know, okay, they started the same place I am, now they're successful, they're in this career that I want to go into. And they're professionals versus academics, so there's always that disconnect that, us academics teaching and doing research, that may not be exactly the same thing that professionals are doing in the field. So to get their perspective, I think, is really meaningful. I want to try to lessen that disconnect and start to understand, okay, here's what these CFAs, these investment professionals do, what they look for, and now I can try to pass that on to the student.
What would make the book value go from $20 a share to -2 in the last 4 years?
Yeah, so that was something that was odd to us. How can a company have negative equity? But we found recent articles that a lot of companies are with buybacks, with repurchase with dividends, they're driving their equity down to 0. Also, we read that the trend in accounting, that some assets like intangible assets, research and development, when they invest hundreds of millions in research and development, that's an intangible asset, but it doesn't show up on their accounting books as an intangible asset. So underestimating assets combined with buying back all these shares drives their equity down to 0, and many companies are actually now in negative.
So you are right on the buying back shares. That's really what's done, and they had some write-offs on the assets. So
Is that something that the company identified as an opportunity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
CEO came out with a couple months ago and said this is something that they're looking forward to. And hopefully that 50 billion number he actually came up with for 10 years in the future, or 7 years in the future.
Did you find any research that kind of broke out what the backlog is in terms of the different aircraft? And then maybe what the profit margins are on those particular aircraft?
In terms of like specific lines, like 787 versus others?
Yeah, like if the Dreamliner's, 80% of backlog, or if it's their 737, or something like that.
I believe, if I remember correctly, that most of the 8-year projected was the 737. But
Did you learn in your economics class something about like marginal costs and marginal revenue and
Sure.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
You could probably figure out what their marginal profit margin is by just looking at that each year. And remember, if they've invested all this in the technology, you're going to have lots of operating leverage.
Where is the aviation industry going in terms of airlines? How are they choosing to move us around the country and the globe? Is it on super jumbo jets, or is it regional jets, or is it more of the 737, which are, mid-range?
Yeah, I do know that one, that there's a trend towards manufacturing more of the two-aisle or single, seat on both sides, so smaller planes, definitely, going forward. Never had to present in front of, 6 to 8 professionals like that, and it's probably something you'll have to do in the future for sure. So it's a great experience having to prepare all semester for the presentation, and then to actually stand up and give it is definitely a great experience.
With any career, you're going to have some kind of, you'll need some people skills. You'll have to deal with people in some way. But a lot of our students go on to be financial planners and advisors, and that's where they're dealing with clients all the time. Or maybe they go into insurance. Again, they're dealing with customers, clients all the time. So building up those people skills, I think, is something really important and something they really don't get much in their other business and finance classes.
Yeah, I think there's always like that, you said stereotype of just sitting at a computer in a cubicle all day, but like if you're in accounting and an auditor, you're dealing with businesses, you're dealing with professionals, especially in finance. If you're a financial advisor, you're dealing with people all day long. So yeah, just having this experience to knowing that you have to prepare for this type of audience is definitely a good thing. Definitely gives you confidence doing anything the rest of the way in school or professionally. Of any aerospace and defense companies. So, Boeing being the leader in that company, that industry has seen tremendous return. We feel like that's why Boeing is a good stock pitch. And then finally, just government relationships. Their strong tie to the U.S. government will project, consistent revenue into the future as well. With that, we'll take your questions.